Just like pregnancy, breastfeeding is a natural process. However, for mother and baby, it can be not as intuitive at first. From learning how to latch correctly to the different stages of breast milk, we have the wonderful midwife Narelle here today to answer all of our breastfeeding questions and concerns. So tell me, Narelle, let's start with the 3 stages of lactation. What are they?
So the 3 stages, colostrum is our first stage, then the milk will move to a transitional phase, and then the 3rd stage is the more mature milk.
Wow. So when does the first stage kick in? Is it like once the baby's born? Or?
Yeah, no, that's a really great question. So from 16 weeks gestation,
Wow.
Most women will have colostrum there ready to go. And it's not until your baby is born, and more importantly until your placenta is born, that the hormonal changes kick in along with stimulation of your breast. And that's when usually the next phase of the transitional phase will commence. So that can take about 2 to 5 days for your fuller milk to come in, and then the transitional phase can continue for up to 2 weeks.
That's so interesting. So you don't have to worry about your partner latching on before the baby's born and they're going to get anything in their mouth.
No, please
it won't happen
don't.
until the baby's born.
We hear some awful wives' tales of women at home scrubbing their nipples with all sorts of things, and that's definitely not advised. So no, just wait for your milk to come in and for your baby to do most of the work for you, hopefully.
Because how long does it take? Is it like once the baby's born your milk comes in, or can it take longer?
So usually it does take a few days. So we say 2 to 5 days for your transitional milk to commence. It's still in the transitional phase for up to 2 weeks. And then breastfeeding can take 6 to 8 weeks to establish, but usually after the first couple of weeks, there is more of a mature milk available for your baby.
So how will I know if my baby's getting enough milk? Because obviously, with a bottle you can see, but when you're breastfeeding, it's a little bit hard to know and you worry that you're underfeeding your baby.
Yeah, of course. And that's probably one of the biggest questions and concerns that we get from mums when they come in to see us. I usually just try to reassure what's normal. So from 5 days of age, it's normal for a baby to be doing about at least 5 to 6 wet nappies a day. And the dirty nappies can be a bit variable, but as long as they're doing at least a dirty nappy a day and that's changed to a mustardy colour.
I remember that mustard. It's a beautiful colour, especially like pinstripes up the back. It's just beautiful.
So outputs is one of the main things, as well as settling between most of a baby's feeds. So it's normal for a baby to feed 8 to 12 times in a 24-hour period, and they're on a different clock to us. So they're not eating breakfast, lunch and dinner. They're on a 24-hour period. So just what's normal is for them to feed every 2 to 4 hours, and to be doing those good amount of wet and dirty nappies. And if you're ever unsure, you should really be checking in with your midwife or health nurse. Settling between most feeds, as I said, because it's normal to have an unsettled time of the day. It's actually also normal to have an unsettled day of the week. And gaining weight is something that we look at. Weight is obviously one part of the picture, but it's also reassuring when you're up every few hours, especially at night, if you see that the scales are increasing in our favour.
Because they do drop a little bit of weight at the beginning, babies, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. So usually women are often still in hospital at that stage, so it's normal for babies to lose up to 10% of their birth weight in the first few days. And we usually like for babies to be back to birth weight by about 2 weeks of age.
Fascinating. So do you have any tips then for mums struggling with latching or breastfeeding in general?
Yeah, look, I think one of the biggest tips I would probably give is that if you're getting sore in the breasts, obviously get some help with your attachment. Often when we're sore, we tend to not want to bring baby up onto our breast, and we will bring our breast down to the baby. So if you can, just try to remember to bring baby up to you, to look for the sucks and swallows. So just to be able to see that baby is swallowing that milk and getting a good amount of breast in
their mouth.
And just to get help if you're not sure. There's lots of help out there. We definitely try to keep tabs with our postnatal women for the first 6 weeks, but even after that, there's definitely some resources out there to get some help.
I remember my midwife telling me to look for the special K, so she pushed the lip so the baby's lip was like properly
Yeah.
latching, because so they're not sucking in air or anything like that, because you don't want windy babies either. But the special K-lip was something I remember as well.
Yeah, that can definitely help, and nice full cheeks. And I think the swallows is something that I really tend to...
The gulping sound.
Just to see that they're not just sitting on the breast, that they are feeding and getting some milk out of the breast.
Yeah, you're not just a pacifier for your baby, really. So how does having a postnatal review help once the baby's born?
I think it's just trying to give mothers that confidence that they know their baby's best, and just trying to really drum home and reassuring them what's normal, which we spoke about before. So just looking for the wet and dirty nappies, that they're settling between most of their feeds, that they are gaining weight. And just trying to run through any other problems that might crop up and just try to troubleshoot those. And also just if things aren't in that normal realm, where to go for help. And sometimes we even see babies that look to be breastfeeding perfectly from the outset, and then they have a bit further review and there might be just something not quite right. So just try to follow that gut instinct. Try to remember that every breastfeeding partnership is unique. So how you breastfeed your baby or feed your baby, because not everyone does successfully breastfeed. How you feed your baby is unique to you and to that partnership, and try not to compare yourself to other people.
Very great advice, because it's so easy to start the comparison thing, which can put you under a lot of pressure.
I think also we do forget, even people that have had babies and kids before, that sometimes we don't always think in that rational realm when we are sleep deprived. I'm a nurse and a midwife myself, and I've been up at 2 a.m. Googling things when I'm not getting enough sleep when the babies have been little. So I think just sometimes coming in and just going through what's been happening can be a big benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. Breastfeeding is a wonderful time for your baby and you to connect, but if you are having any issues or concerns, give the team at Birds of Paradise a call to see how they can support you through your breastfeeding journey.